everyone, welcome back to Jet Fuel, the 53 project part 3, where I have a whole shipment of goodies that in this episode I'll be installing into my Beetle. Alright, let's do it. And yes, as you can see, I have done a little bit to the Beetle since part 2, but all I've done is I have fitted these blue 1963 guards to the Beetle just to see how they would look, and in my opinion they look way better than those red ones over there. And the other thing I've done is I've removed the gear shift rod. Yeah, I've removed the gear shift I've removed the gear shift rod as well. I've also removed the gear shift rod. So I did that by over here. There is a plate that you take out, and in there you take the shift rod right out of there and it just slips out. So I've done that as well. So I will just show you guys something today. Just as well, so if you're wanting to build a Herbie replica, you got to make sure it is between 1957 and 1967. So that will mean it will have slanted headlights like that. I just got one of my old headlights in there just to show you guys more clearly, but they are slanted headlights and they are vastly bigger to 1970s, and I will show you the difference with the other fender. Now this is the 1970s fender, so this is what you don't want for a Herbie replica. So the differences are that, see that the headlight is going straight up and down and it's not slanted like that, like the 1960s, and they're also a lot smaller as well. So you don't want that when you're building a Herbie replica. So I just wanted to point that out. So yeah, these are my Beetle with the 1963 headlights on them, and they are the slant ones, and these are the 70s ones, so you just want to watch out for that. Another thing also when building a Herbie replica, the bumpers you want are these bumpers right here. So these are the classic US spec overrider bumpers. But the other bumpers you'll find that you have to watch out for a Herbie replica is they won't have this top bar or these ends right here. They'll probably only just be this bottom part right here. And yeah, they might just be one smooth piece of metal instead of with the overriders. So just watch out for that as well. And this is the rear overrider bumper as well. Alright, let's check out all my shipment of goodies that I got. So I've ordered stuff from Just Campers, classic VW, and some more stuff from Just Campers. So let me go show you what I ordered. Alright, this is my whole shipment of Beetle parts that I've got in. So let me go show you what they all are. So these are transaxle seal kits. I've got brake shoe fitting kits, shift rod coupling over here, shift rod bush, some transmission mounts, some axle boots, got some new brake shoes over here, and now we're getting into the good stuff. Got a shock. I've got a brand new MP short shifter, so I'll explain more of that later. I've got some fender fitting kits, some more handbrake cables, and I've got some brand new brake drums for the rear. And my favorite part, bought some brand new running boards to go on the side, which are the side steps. So in this video I'll be putting all of these on the Beetle. Okay, so I guess the first thing I need to do is to change the transmission gasket. So to do that I need to remove the backing plates on the transaxle, and I also need to remove this back of the transmission here to drain out the oil, because I do not have the right tool for the draining plugs. And then we gotta slip this out and then undo these bolts in here, and then we'll be able to do the gaskets. Sorry about the wind, but to take the backing plate off, first we got to undo these 4 bolts right here. There we go. There it is. Next is these washers here. Need to get taken off. These spacers as well. Make sure not to lose them. First, I'm going to take this plate off by removing each of these bolts here so I can drain the oil. So when I take the transaxles and take them apart, it doesn't leak oil everywhere. So each of these little bolts here, they each have a washer, so definitely don't lose those. There you go. Plate is off now. Now let's let all of that transmission fluid leak out. Alright, with all the fluid drained out, the next thing to do is to undo all these bolts in here so I can replace the gaskets behind there. And I also need to slip this whole axle out as well. There you have it, it's off. That's the gasket that I have to replace as well. Oh wow, they're very deteriorated. Okay, axle tube is now off and it is over here. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grind it down, clean all the surface rust off of it, and give it a layer of black spray paint.
One eternity later.
There we go, all shiny, pretty much finished. Time to spray paint. I reckon that looks good for now. Come check it later. Won't be perfect, but again, it's under the car, so you won't see it that much. Alright, we will check on that later. Okay, so the next day and the paint is all dry now, so the next thing to do is to get the axle boot on. So this axle boot is a solid axle boot, so I'll be showing you how to do it with a solid axle boot. So first thing you got to do is you got to turn the solid axle boot inside out as so, and we've just put a little bit of lanolin in there as lubrication so it slips over this half bowl right here easily. So you want to start feeding it over like this. And we'll need a rod. You got a rod?
There's a couple of tyre levers there and a screwdriver. Just keep going around like that, slowly. Might get it. It's going.
So you just want to keep spinning it around like this.
Oh yeah, getting it. Hey!
There you go. That's how you do it. And after it's on, you want to try flip it back over to the right way. Honestly, this is actually sort of helping. Can you just hold that up for me? Come on.
You're starting to get it. Here we go. It's coming. It's coming. There you go.
There you go. And that's how you put a solid axle boot on.
I reckon that would be easier.
Okay, you put the hose clamps on the axle boot next, and that finishes it off. And look how great this transaxle looks now. All painted in black, all brand new axle boot. Looks amazing. If you're redoing your Volkswagen Beetle, I definitely recommend to spray paint everything. It just looks so good. Okay, next thing to do is to put the transaxle back on. But before we do that, we need to replace these gaskets in here. So all around here is a gasket, and they're really important because they're a seal and a spacer. But first you got to count how many you got. So I have 4 on this one, and I've got some replacement gaskets, but the pack I bought didn't actually come with enough, so it might only do one side. So hopefully that it will be enough for one side. And also just make sure you're not ripping the gaskets when you put them back on either. That wouldn't be very good. So I'm gonna put 3 gaskets on here because that's only how much I've got. There you go. So not being able to finish the transmission is annoying, so I guess the next thing I can do is install the short shifter into the car. So that is the short shifter. So basically what that does is it shortens the throw of the shift and also makes it a nicer, more direct shift as well. So I highly recommend it. I have looked in a car that had a short shifter and it felt really nice, so I bought one for myself to test it out. Alright, so there's the shifter, and that's the plate that comes with the shifter. So any shifter in a Volkswagen Beetle is very easy to install. So you make sure you line up the ball of the shifter with the shift rod, which I have put back into the car. This is the shifter that was in the car when I first got it, so it's an older one, but it's still aftermarket, but not a short shifter. So the short shifter, how they work is the ball for the shifter is higher up, so it gives it a more higher shift, so you don't have to pull back and forth as much to get the shift into gear. And there's also a couple springs and stuff in there to help it get a direct, like, clicky shift. So yeah, I'll show you how to install that. Alright, so first you line the ball up. Oh, sorry. Forgot to put the plate in. Put the plate in first. As so. Then line the ball. There we go, that fits nicely. Line up all the holes. Then you put your bolts back in. Oh, the GoPro is just about to die, so hopefully I can finish it before that happens. And then you just tighten those bolts up with your ratchet. Put the cover back down. And there you go. That is your short shifter installed. Perfect. Okay, it's a few days later and I've now got a package from Just Campers so I can finish doing what I was doing. So in the package, we've got a whole bunch of those gasket seals. We've got the new brake cylinder, and then we've also got a suspension bolt and some nose cone seals in there. So we can go ahead and finally, hopefully, fingers crossed, finish the transmission today. I'm going to start off with 3 gaskets on each side, just because these are thicker than the other ones that I bought. So I'm going to start off with 3 gaskets, and if it's too stiff, then I'll put it up to 4. Alright, there we go. That is 3 gaskets. Now time to get the axle tube. Okay, now to put the axle tube back on. Okay, so now I've added one of the thin gaskets to both of the sides, and now they are moving freely but with just a little bit of resistance, so that's what you're looking for when you're doing this, so that's good. So next thing that has to be done is to put all of the seals and everything into the axle. So first one that goes in is this little thick washer spacer thing right here. So that goes in this way with the groove facing the inside. And then the washer goes in. Sorry, not the washer, the bearing. Now technically we shouldn't be hammering this on, as it could break stuff inside the gearbox, but we don't really have any other choice.
A little bit more, or?
Yeah. Keep going. One more. Yep. Yep. So we got our seal kit right here. So you're gonna want to get your washer, your thinner washer, out of your packet. You want to slip your washer over here. As so. Then you want that little rubber O-ring. You want to put some some rubber grease on there. And then you want to put this large spacer with the coned inside facing the inside of it. Then you want to get this one, and you want to pop it inside of this right here, which is basically which holds everything together.
Just going to clean this up a little bit. Just make sure it just feels a little bit of... Looks good.
Awesome.
Do you want to get the brakes?
Alright. And then you want to get your freshly rebuilt brakes. This side.
Here you can see that I've rebuilt these brakes. Now I don't show it in this video, but if you want to see how I did it, watch the 53 project part 4, which is all about brakes and suspension. I'll also put a link for that video up on the top right hand corner of your screen.
Almost forgot about this big rubber O-ring that's supposed to go on the inside of that holding plate as well. You also want to put a gasket in there as well, just to seal everything up nicely. Probably be in the way, whatever.
Alright, try to go forwards again. Keep going. Right, what do we hit?
Okay, so the transmission is finally in, and we've also attached the gear rod coupling and everything, attached it to the gear shifter rod. The next thing that has to be done is the transaxles have to be bolted onto the arms, but that's for next weekend because we're running out of light. So we'll get back to that next weekend. Okay, now with the transmission in, the next thing to do is to connect up all of the swing arms to the torsion bar by using these 3 bolts.
Okay, so this isn't lining up. Hey, Tilly. Hey, Tilly. Hey, Tilly. Hey, Pop. Okay, so these bolts aren't long enough to pull these together because these aren't lining up properly. So I got a little bit longer bolt. So I'm going to see if that can pull it closer together. Alright, that brings us to the end of part 3 of the 53 project. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for part 4, which is all about brakes and suspension. Subscribe.